Well, any plans by the government to give a green light to the repossession of family homes is heartless, and it is damaging to the economy. What we need is a government plan that will allow for debt write-downs. It has to be a cornerstone of their plan to deal with the mortgage distress. We know that 1 in 4 people are in mortgage distress. We know that this is increasing day by day. 115 additional people every single day falling into mortgage distress. And despite the fact that it's 2 years this week that the government were elected into office, we've seen little if nothing done in relation to this issue. Indeed, more people now than at that time feel very vulnerable in their own homes, are smothered under this level of personal debt and mortgage debt. And we see the banks responding by plans to increase the variable interest rates, with again the government sitting on their hands and refusing to do anything about it. Sinn Féin repeats our call here that there is a need for an independent agency to take the powers away from the banks, to allow that independent agency to assess on a case-by-case basis the solutions that are required for both the lender and the mortgage holder, and to implement those decisions and have those decisions based on a statutory footing. That is the only way we're going to resolve this situation. It is now in crisis mode, and we need a crisis response from this government. But the green lighting of family home repossessions is heartless, and it is going to be seriously damaged to the economy.
But Pearse, doesn't it need to be...
I have no doubt that the Land and Conveyance Bill that is part of this problem is to be amended. The Dunn ruling in the courts basically said that anybody who had a mortgage that was in default prior to December 2009, and that the bank made a call for repossession after that date, it could not be repossessed, or at least to put serious questions into the repossession by the banks. What this has done, and that judgment has done, is it has given breathing space to people out there who are in serious financial distress. And remember, we're talking about 160,000 families right across the state living in every single community. The government plans to introduce this, which will give the green light, or amend the legislation which will give the green light to family home repossessions. In the absence of a robust set of proposals which takes the powers away from the bank to deal with this issue, it is simply unacceptable and, as I said, cruel and heartless.
But isn't it a case that family home repossessions in some cases are the only solution?
In some cases, there will be a situation where repossessions will have to happen. They need to be the minority of cases, and what is missing here is the absence of a suite of solutions that will allow other options to be facilitated before that drastic option is taken. We've had the Keane report, we've had reports before that. Even though those reports were very conservative, we've seen none of those proposals implemented, or if they have been implemented, they've been implemented in a very small way. For example, one of the schemes that were there in terms of local authorities purchasing the house and continuing to rent it, only 8 people have availed of that over the last 8 months. So what we need is a real solution, and the only way that we're going to be able to do this is take the powers away from the banks. At the minute the bank have all of the power, establish a statutory independent agency that on a case-by-case basis can implement a decision on both the banks and the mortgage holders. That is the only way that we're going to deal with this crisis.